here, and today I'm going to be doing a topic discussion about a pretty touchy topic. Many people suffer from it. It's a problem throughout everyone. Some people it's serious, some people it's not, but in other cases it's fatal. And if you guys haven't really figured it out yet by the title of this video and by the thumbnail and about how I'm talking about it, it's depression. Now, there are many different forms of depression. There is just minor, minimal depression where you're just sad one day, but then the next day you get over it. And then there's depression of like about there's just many different types. There's minor, there's major, there's critical, there's fatal, and I'll be touching on all those ones today. Critical, no, not critical, minor, minor, minor depression is pretty much where you just sad, upset, depressed for maybe a day or two, and then it goes away. It could be something like thought that popped into your head, a memory, or just something small like that. But they get over it, they move on, it doesn't really affect them that much, and they move on with their lives. Critical, or not critical, major depression is more something you gotta watch out for. It's in most people, but it doesn't really affect their lives too much. It's a form of depression to where you are unhappy most of the time, but other times you're happy and joyful and just like wanting to be with friends, and other times you're just not wanting to do a thing. Critical is where, this is what I have, is where you're upset all the time. You don't see anything moving on in your life. You don't want to feel, you don't want to think, and every time you think, things get worse and worse and worse until you pretty much get pushed over the edge and just lose it. And some things you got to watch out for is self-harm, which go along with depression. This depression, this one is common but uncommon. It's a form of depression that usually develops within time, and it happens throughout bullying, or just bullying, abuse, many different things that people suffer from. And yes, I've suffered from something like that. I'm not gonna specify on what, because that's my own personal life. If you guys would want to know, well, too bad. Sorry. Fatal is suicide, pretty much. It's where the person does not see any kind of improvement. They don't feel anything except for pain. They can't find happiness. They can't find any motivation to move forward. They feel like they're stuck in one spot. They can't move forward. They can't move back. They can't go anywhere except for where they are. And most people who commit suicide, they don't do it because they feel like no one cares, or they feel like nobody wants them there. Most people who are depressed with fatal depression commit suicide because that's the only way they can get rid of the pain. Now, when I say that, I don't mean physical pain. I mean mental, emotional pain that can't be fixed. Now, many people who feel this, you tend to go to therapy or go to a mental institution to get help for themselves. Now, I have tried therapy. It helped a little bit, but I stopped going after like the first day because I felt extremely uncomfortable. Therapy is a thing where you have to be open-minded and willing to talk to someone about this. And I was not like that. It was difficult to open up things that I didn't want to open up again. It was difficult to go back into my memory to dig up things that I did not want to see or think about again. And it's hard. It is very, very hard to deal with this kind of stuff. Now, there are hotlines that you can call. There's websites that you can look up to help you with this. There's many, many, many ways to cope with depression. One of the worst ones is self-harm. I myself have self-harm. Now, people look at it, and nowadays people see it as for attention. But that's only because most people that self-harm show it off like it's a new tattoo. That is not the case. That is far from what it's about. Self-harm is not something that people want to show off, and if people do see it, they try their best to hide it, because it is something that is not in any way, it's not something that we like. It's a when people look at scars or cuts on someone, that person wearing them feels like they aren't good enough. Like, when someone points something out on a person that's not normal to them, that person gets upset. And when someone points out scars or cuts on someone, that person gets upset. And it gets worse. And then sometimes it will lead to bullying, and it'll get worse. And then eventually it'll get worse and worse and worse. And then eventually it'll go from either critical, minor, major, either one of those. It'll go from that to fatal. Because they can't take it anymore. They can't take the pain. They can't take how they feel inside. They can't take any more of the abuse of others, or the bullying, or the anything. Like I said, this topic is very touchy for me. I'm still dealing with it. I'm trying my best to get better. I'm getting there. I'm pretty much between major and critical, and I'm trying to back my way out of it. Like I said, I have gotten help. I've tried. I'm finding ways to cope with it. I'm talking to friends. I'm talking to family. I'm talking to people who I know will help me. There are things that you have to look out for, though. Critical. If you see their scars, don't make it obvious. Don't ask what happened. Don't point it out. Just act like you never saw them. Major, just be there for them. Because who knows how far they'll be pushed until they'll eventually get to critical. Minor, make them be their friend. Make them happy. Fatal, just try your best to save them. It's tough. In today's society, it is very tough. Depression is a thing that keeps on growing and growing, and not many people see it. Most people who deal with depression can hide it very well. I myself can hide it pretty decently. But if they do show it, be there for them. Don't ignore them. Don't let them go. Even if you don't know what to do, just be there for them. Because you don't know how hard they have it. It's hard to deal with this. It is hard to feel how we feel without wanting to just let it stop. It's hard to keep going without wanting to give up. Anyway, guys, in conclusion, just be nicer to people. That's pretty much it. Be their friend, be there for someone. Don't be the wrong person and push it too far. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. And before I end it, I want to say, if you guys haven't seen, I've changed my name to KineticShadow. Put my new banner up, put my new logo up. I even have a little watermark button down on the bottom, down like right here. Anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, I'll see you.